guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is focused on home decor. Obviously I do a lot of home decor on this channel, but today we're going to be focusing on home decor staples. Now when I say home decor staples, what I mean is that something that can lend its hand to really like styling up your space. So these are just three options. There are a plethora of home decor staples, so I'm hoping to actually create this into a series. So we're going to be focusing on those items, and we're going to be focusing on the DIY versions of those items. So of course there's always the option to buy if you prefer to buy, but I wanted to show and share with you some ideas to DIY these versions instead. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, first and foremost, I am considering a beaded garland a home decor staple. Why I'm considering it a home decor staple is because it's such a fluid piece that it could go with an array of different styles, and it kind of just pushes up the ante and makes something like a simple tray look a little bit more beautiful when you put a beaded garland on it, or when you wrap it around a vase. Of course, you can find beaded garlands anywhere, including Amazon, but I'm going to show you how to DIY it, especially if you're interested in personalizing it to something that you'd like. So let's get started on the DIY. So for our beaded garland, we need beads. I got these off of Amazon for $9.99, some twine or yarn, and we also need a hot glue gun. We're going to start by choosing the length of your yarn and start threading through the beads. Now, a threading needle, if you have one on hand, would be great to use in this instance. I didn't have one, so I'm using a skewer. But hey, it worked, right? So originally I bought this bag off of Amazon to make multiple garlands. I ended up using the biggest beads for this beaded garland, and I think it looks beautiful, but honestly, kind of working in the smaller beads with the bigger beads I think would look amazing as well. Something I plan on doing in the future for sure. Alright, so once we've made it the length that we wanted it, now we're going to tie the ends off. So as you can see here, I'm just double knotting it, but I want to make sure that I actually have enough of the tail end because I'm going to be using that for later when I tie on the tassels. So I think it goes without saying that we're going to do this for the opposite side as well, tying off the ends and making sure that we have enough string so we can actually tie the tassels on at a later date. So next we're going to be moving on to making the tassels. So I'm taking the twine and just wrapping it around my hand 25 times, and then I'm going to take the end piece of that and cut it off. So this next step is not something you normally do when you're making tassels, but I'm actually tying a piece of twine on the top of my tassel before actually creating the tassel, and this is going to be used to tie the tassel onto the string. So you definitely want to make sure you have enough string left over so you can tie it to the garland. So moving on to actually making the tassel part, we're going to now make our cuts at the bottom. So where it loops over, we're just going to cut those as even as possible. You just want to make sure you find the center point before you start cutting because this is going to help you retain as much length as possible, and so you're not cutting off the ends too much. Next, we're going to go 1/4 of the way down and tie some string around that piece to create the tassel part itself. And then lastly, we're going to be making the appropriate cuts just to kind of make sure that we even the tassels out as much as possible. And we're going to repeat this for the other part of the garland as well. Alright, as you can see here, there's a natural hole in my tassel, so I'm actually just threading the end of the garland through so that I can kind of tie it to the tassel. So just use that long end piece and tie it nice and tight, and then use those two end pieces at the top of the tassel and then make a tight knot around that. And if you have any excess string hanging off of those ends, what I ended up doing was kind of just wrapping them around and then gluing them to those pieces. So I decided to do this to make sure it looked as clean as possible and to make sure that there were no like flyaway pieces when it came to the string. After that, I decided to take that little knot area and glue it to the bead next to it just to make sure that it wasn't moving around too much. I kind of wanted a fluid motion with the beaded garland, but I wanted the tassels to remain intact. So I just repeated these steps on the other side for the second tassel, and I made sure that I glued down those flyaway pieces just to make sure that it was a more pristine look. And that completed the project. DIY, we are going to be focusing on shape table decor. These are honestly great pieces to have. One, it kind of breaks up the space because of the fact that most of our furniture, just in general, is like square and rectangle shape, and shaped objects kind of break up that space, and it kind of creates a more of an eye-catching piece. For me specifically, I focus on triangles, arrow shapes, circles. I have actually one right here. This is a great piece just to kind of put on hand. So we are going to be doing a DIY version of this. However, we're going to be doing it in a rope version. So for this DIY, we need this 3-pack of floral wreaths from Dollar Tree, some wire cutter, and some rope. So we're going to start off by taking our wire cutters and cutting out the smallest wreath ring of the wreath. I really like the size of the smallest wreath rings, but if you want to make a big one, go for it. So as you can see here, I'm taking my rope and I'm taking the end and gluing it to the wreath ring just to start out. Be careful with this part because I burned my finger multiple times pushing down the rope onto the wreath ring. So definitely some tedious work here for sure, but you want to make sure that you glue it after every wrap. The reason why I'm telling you this is because it became unraveled after I started doing it every few wraps. So binge a TV show or listen to a podcast. I was actually doing this while I was listening to my new favorite podcast, Jones and to Branch Out. Shout out to my favorite people right now. Okay, so as you can see here, we're just gonna slide the rings in through each other. It's not rocket science. Obviously, you just kind of slide them through. The wire is bendable, so it's no problem there. And then just adjust it until it's the shape that you like. Now, I will say that it doesn't really stand up at the center of it, so it's kind of laying kind of off center, but I still like that look, and I think this is an amazing DIY and so simple to do. And honestly, such a great decor piece to have. For our final home decor staple, we are going to be making candlestick holders. It doesn't really matter what kind of style, whether it's the candlesticks or maybe the pillar candles. Whatever you gravitate towards is going to be a great piece in your home. Now, I consider these a home decor staple just because of the fact that they are, one, visually pleasing, of course, whether you use them for lighting up and kind of bringing fragrance into the room, or if they're just kind of on your table just as a decorative piece, especially when you have differing heights. So let's jump into it. So for this project, you need a coupling or a cap and a metal wreath ring. So I had this coupling on hand before I decided to make this project, but I would definitely suggest going with a copper pipe fitting instead. It's going to be a lot cheaper, and going with a 1/2 inch instead. So you're going to take some metal bonding super glue and put it onto the wreath as well as the fitting, and then just place it on top of each other. Now, I glued it with a metal ring facing towards me because of the fact that I knew it was going to stick to the paper below it if I did it the other way. Just make sure you have a way to hold it in place so it can dry like that. After giving it about an hour of dry time, I spray painted it with my gold spray paint. This was just to complete the look and to make sure that it kind of looked cohesive, like it actually went together. Give it time to dry, and that's it. Guys, that's it for the content today, but thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this video gave you some ideas for home decor staples in your home. So this was, of course, the first episode of what I hope to be a home decor staples series. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely make sure you're subscribed and you hit that little notification bell so you're in the know when I post again. I am posting every single week, sometimes 2 times a week, and I'm hoping to bring some more great DIY content your way. And if there's a home decor staple that you would like me to DIY, just let me know in the comments. Definitely let me know, and I'd love to make that happen. So thank you again for watching, guys. You are the greatest. You guys are the best, and I really enjoy connecting with you when I do. So thank you so much for watching. I can't wait for the next one, guys. So I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.